All right, yogis. So we are going to start in child's pose. You'll need probably a blanket and a couple of blocks. If thigh stretching and like hip extension work is tough for you, you might have a strap nearby. You'll be fine if you don't have a strap, but there might be a few places where it'd be handy if you like to use that tool. And then we'll start in the balasana. So come to drop in child's pose. You can use your blanket and your blocks in some way if you would like support. So like knees and shins, maybe some padding with a blanket, and or support for your head with a block perhaps. So we'll start kind of passive, couple breaths just in child's pose, and then we'll get moving. So settle in when you're ready. I'm taking a few moments to settle as best you can. I know this shape is tough for many of us, myself included. So see what you can do to drop the pelvis towards the hips, or the heels rather, and begin to open up the knees in this deep flexion and the tops of the ankles. Just keep the upper body pretty soft here. And start to feel your body, feel your breath. And as best you can, releasing some tension, gripping in the body. So especially around the jaw and face. If you can release some maybe habitual holding there. And start to use your breath to do that. So we get nice full breath going. And you might take a few final moments here to also check in with the mind. So how's the mood, the nervous system? What's the quality or contents of the mind? And what's the possibility of softening around anything there that's got you maybe held or stressed? We might not be able to rid of all of it, but perhaps we can loosen the grip. And so as we practice tonight, we've got a fairly strong flow, I would say. Deep sense of knowing is the theme. So the ability to know your body, continue to explore what the body's capable of, use your breath to do that. And of course, the mind is a big component of your practice. And so as we explore some front body opening, some back bending today, continue to practice that deep sense of knowing yourself. So after maybe that next breath, let's lift out of child's pose for a beat. So get up in the hips for a moment and come forward. You can walk your knees back a little bit But keep your knees right underneath your hips. And then if you don't already have a block, you might put one underneath you and start to walk your hands out and away. So I'm like as wide as my yoga mat. The knees stay right under the hips. You can untuck your toes, and then it's a super slow stretch of the chest towards the floor. So we're moving from child's pose to Paryankasana or the puppy pose, and you can make it a pretty slow descent. Press the tops of your feet into the floor, squeeze your calves a little bit, and start to slowly push the mat away with your hands, firm your arms, and stretch your chest towards the floor. Now you might find that in a handful of breaths you get stuck. You can't go any further, that's okay. You've got props, hopefully something to put under your head. Otherwise, head in line with spine. And then wrap a little bit your biceps up, triceps toward your knees, and spread a little bit through the upper back. And then more in the chest, less in the lumbar. So knit your low ribs up a little bit. Then breathe, of course, as you stretch your chest to or towards the floor. Let's try for another 2 or 3 breaths here. Nothing like starting practice with puppy pose. It's a fairly intense stretch for many of us. Last big breath. And then slowly lift your way out of there. So take your time. Don't rush as you lift. And we'll sit in the Vajrasana. So thunderbolt pose, you can walk your knees in, walk your hands back, lift your spine up, and see about sitting right on those heels. If you can't, that's okay. Maybe slip a block or 2 under your seat. And then just take a moment to sit on the feet. Nice long spine here. Give the spine a moment to lift and lengthen. And then from this position, you'll lace your hands light behind your head. Super light, like barely cradle head and hands. And on an inhale breath, tip your pelvis forward, lift your chest, your chin, and spread your elbows wide. So it's like a seated cow pose. As you exhale, tuck your chin, hug your elbows in about shoulder width, and curl yourself down toward your thighs. Spread the back of your body. And then inhale, lift up, arch the spine, tip the pelvis forward toward your knees, spread your chest, spread your elbows, and exhale, scoop the tail under, round the back of the body as you curl in, scoop in, cat pose. All right, so a little different form today with this spinal work, seated. Partly just to help use the body weight, keep going, to help open the fronts of the ankles and get more familiar with the knee flexion and the front of the ankle extension. Let's do maybe 2 or 3 more of these. Try to keep the grip on your head super light so there's not unnecessary tension in the back skull, neck. Last one. After your next exhale, you can come up to a neutral spine. Release your hands, so soften the grip for a moment. Take a little pause. Good, and then come back to your table. So shoulders over wrists and hips over knees. Again, here, untucked toes. And we'll stay with the left hand nice and rooted. So push down with your left hand and take your right hand loose, light, to the back of the head. This time we start to rotate. It can be small. Inhale, right elbow to the ceiling as you twist to the right. And then exhale, rotate right elbow towards the left elbow as you rotate to the left, kind of round and curl. And then inhale, open right elbow to the ceiling. You can lean your head a little bit back into your hand. Exhale, rotate towards the floor, towards the left elbow. You don't have to touch there, but you could. And we keep going. So some thoracic spine rotation. Per your capacity, really reach, push down through that left hand. So across the whole hand will help with weight bearing equally. Do a few more on this side. Keep the grip light, keep the jaw, tongue, face soft. Maybe one more. And then you can release, put your right hand down, spread your right fingers, push down into all 5 right finger pads, and then a super light grip of the left hand behind the head. Draw the navel a little bit up, and then when you're ready, inhale, left elbow to the ceiling. And exhale, left elbow towards the floor, and twist under and towards your right forearm or elbow. And then inhale, twist to the left, open like you're peeking up underneath your left armpit just. Exhale, rotate back to the right. And there's a good chance that, keep going, one side feels stickier or harder to rotate than the other. That is the case here for sure. So see if you can meet yourself kindly with that asymmetry. And continue to root push through your right fingers. So keep that weight equally distributed across the whole hand. And keep the grip on the head nice and light and gentle. Last couple. And maybe after the next one or the next, if this is your awkward or tight side, maybe you do an extra. And you can come off the right wrist when you're ready. Just resume your Vajrasana seat. You can sit on your heels. Take a little pause there. If you need to sit on a block, you sit on a block. And take a breath or two here. All right, so let's get off the knees and find our way to downward facing dog. So you have yoga blocks. I would put those towards the top of your space. And then we have a fair amount of knee down lunging and gait work. So you might enjoy this blanket for padding underneath your dog. So feel free to keep that. And then downward facing dog when you're ready. And walk your dog out a little bit as you come to plant your hands as wide as your shoulders. And tuck your toes and lift your knees, your hips. And find essentially like an upside down V. Then walk out dog, move, shift as needed. And then once you've had a couple of breaths to explore your dog, let's find stillness and start to fine tune here. So press down through all 10 of those finger pads, wrap those biceps up towards the ceiling and the triceps back and towards your toes. We have external rotation of the upper arm bones. Stretch your chest toward your thighs, knit your navel toward your spine, and then stretch your heels back and down. And you can squeeze your legs straight or keep a little bend, whatever you need here. Take a nice full breath. Good, and then we'll walk the feet up. So journey your way to your hands. Uttanasana at the top of the mat. You can go hip distant or mat width or bend your knees or all the above. Whatever's gonna help you get a nice drape and drop of the upper body over the lower body. And we're interested today in more like hamstring strength than we are hamstring opening. So you might just ease here by bending the knees a bit. And you can keep that flexion in the knees as you inhale, hands to shins or blocks, and start to come into a back bend. So lift the front of the spine and squeeze a little bit those shoulder blades together on your back. Draw your navel, low belly up. And take another inhale breath, project that heart forward. And then exhale, soften as you drop, Uttanasana. And inhale, either arms out and up or up through prayer, Urdhva as you reach tall. And then exhale, hands can come to heart, and you'll just take a moment to stand. Feel yourself standing here, breathe. And I'll leave it up to you. You can go with the big toes touching or hip width, whatever feels best in your pelvis. We'll warm up with a couple sun A's to start. So when you're ready, inhale, reach out or straight up, Urdhva. And exhale and fold to Uttanasana. Release the head and neck. Inhale, find that back bend. Squeeze shoulder blades, Ardha Uttanasana. Lift up halfway. Exhale and fold, bend your knees. Plant your hands, step back, right leg, left leg, plank. And we'll stay for an inhale breath in the plank pose. So squeeze arms, legs, and belly. As you exhale, shift forward, drop your knees, and then one piece lower to your belly. Once you're down there, untuck your toes, press your feet down and inhale, lift up, cobra. Squeeze the upper back, press the feet down. Exhale and lower, tuck your toes and press back downward facing dog. Couple of breaths in the dog each time. And then inhale to look forward. Exhale to step your feet up, Uttanasana, top of the mat. With an inhale breath, lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, reach out, stretch up, Urdhva. We're gonna link all of these together. Exhale, fold right back down, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift halfway, squeeze upper back, lengthen the front of the spine. Exhale and fold, bend your knees. Plant your hands and step back, left leg, right leg, plank. Inhale, breath, we hold strong plank pose. Exhale, breath, shift forward. If it helps to drop your knees, do it, and then lower to the belly. This time, take your fingertips just outside your yoga mat, little wider set hands. Press your feet and then hook your elbows toward your sides, shoulder blades squeeze, chest up. Akrasana, crocodile shape. Exhale, lower, bring the hands back in and press back downward, facing dog. From your dog, look forward and walk your feet up, Uttanasana, top of the mat. Inhale, breath, lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, breath and fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, reach out, stretch up, Urdhva. Squeeze those legs, and then exhale, go right back down. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold, bend the knees, plant the hands and back to the right leg, then the left leg, plank. Inhale, strong plank. Exhale, shift forward. If you can lower in one piece, do it. Otherwise, knees first, and then to the belly. Take the arms down by the sides. Press your feet to start. And inhale, lift up, arms, head, chest. Little baby Shalabhasana. And perhaps feet come up to baby Shalabhasana, whole body. Good, exhale, release. Tuck your toes and press back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog, couple of breaths. From your dog, take a peek forward and walk those feet up. Uttanasana, top of the mat. Inhale, breath, lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, breath, Uttanasana. Inhale, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. We're gonna do one more. Exhale, right back down. From here, inhale, lift halfway, squeeze upper back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, left leg, then right leg, plank. Strong plank pose, big inhale. Exhale, shift forward and lower in one piece or through the knees to your belly. Arms down by the sides. Start with that, lift there, head, arms, chest, and then maybe those legs too, and then maybe a little curl. Let's start to turn on those hammies. Hug your heels toward your buns, a little Dhammirasana, strength breath. And then extend your legs and release and press back. Downward facing dog, couple of breaths. From your downward facing, look forward, walk it up, Uttanasana, top of the mat. Inhale, breath, lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reach up this time as you exhale, hands can come to the heart. We'll take a little pause, just enjoy feeling of your heart, your breath after starting to build a little heat here. I should have told you to not really worry about the blanket for that because we didn't lunge yet, so sorry about that. All right, let's move into some sun Bs. So again, your call on feet together, our feet hip width. And I should also say that these are all like variations of, right? So these are not traditional sun salutations to perfection. They're varied, modified. And we'll try. Inhale, reach your arms up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, sit low for Utkatasana. So send the booty back, sit low in your heels, but lift your chest. So it's a back bend. Inhale. And then exhale, hold Uttanasana. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, unfold, bend your knees, plant your hands, step back, right leg, left leg, plank, and inhale, plank pose. Exhale, shift forward, lower all the way to your belly. Untuck your toes and inhale, lift up, cobra. Squeeze upper back, squeeze legs. Exhale and lower, press back, downward facing dog. From your dog, inhale to look forward. And exhale, step your right foot up. Drop your left knee low. Untuck your left toes and then sweep your arms up. So high arms, low lunge. We'll take a good breath cycle here. Squeeze those legs together. And lift a little bit the back of the heart in and up. Another inhale breath. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, left toes tuck, left knee lifts. Exhale, quiet step to plank. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, shift to your belly. Untuck toes, inhale, cobra pose, squeeze the upper back. Maybe you get a little bigger back bend going. And then exhale, lower, and press back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale to look forward. And exhale, step your left foot up. Scoot those right toes back, drop your right knee. And then if you can, untuck your right toes, push down there, and then inhale up, high arms, low lunge. Give the right buns a squeeze, hug those legs together, and then reach up and go up like you could lift your chest a little more. Big inhale here. Exhale, come down, hands to the floor. Inhale, back toes tuck, back knee lifts. That's a good place to squeeze your glutes. And then exhale, step back, plank. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, smart transition to the belly. Untuck toes on round 3. Possibility of hovering the hands, cobra. So up with strength only, squeeze your legs. Exhale, release. Press back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. From your dog, look forward and walk your feet to your hands. Uttanasana, top of the mat. Inhale, breath, lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, breath, and fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Utkatasana, sweep your arms up, sit low for just a beat here, hold. And then the next time you inhale, you go straight legs, Urdhva Hastasana. Woo, and then we got another one, exhale, sit, Utkatasana. Tuck that tail under. Inhale, heart up, chest up. Exhale and fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, left leg steps, then right. Plank pose. Inhale here, strong plank. Exhale, transition to your belly. Fingertips just outside the yoga mat, untuck the toes, and inhale, Makrasana. Lift the chest, squeeze the back. Exhale, lower, hands come back in, back you go, downward dog. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, step your right foot up, scoot your left toes back, and drop your left knee low. Untuck left toes, and then inhale, come up. So we've been here before. High arms, low lunge, squeeze those legs together for stability. And then left arm stays, right hand to your hips. You can inhale, go up a little. And then as you exhale, lean to the right. So we want to get a little more side bend and a little more front of the left hip opening here to the degree that is possible. Yeah, and then inhale back and exhale, find the floor, touchdown. Inhale, left toes tuck, left knee lifts. Exhale quietly to your plank. Inhale there. Exhale quietly to your belly. So nice and controlled. Fingertips wide, untuck toes. Inhale, shoulder blades squeeze as you lift. Crocodile pose. Exhale and lower. Press back, downward facing dog. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, step your left foot up. Drop your right knee low and untuck your right toes. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, you can find a little sink into this front thigh, but draw your low belly back and reach up. Let's keep that right arm there. Left hand to the hip, take an inhale, get longer through the right side, and then exhale, lean to the left. A little side bend. Squeeze those right glutes. Stretch your right side. Inhale, bring it back up. And exhale, hands down. Inhale, right toes tuck, right knee lifts. And exhale, plank. Inhale here. Exhale to the belly. Fingertips wide, option to hover on round 3 if you want. Head up, chest up. Maybe hands hover wide. Press the feet. And exhale, hands back in. And press back. Downward facing dog. Couple of breaths there. At any point you need to soften. Maybe come down to the knees, get off the wrists. You can certainly do that here. From your dog pose, look forward and step your feet up to your hands, Uttanasana. With an inhale breath, lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale breath, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Utkatasana, sweep up, sit low, hold here, really swoop that tail under. And then inhale, push down, straighten the legs, Urdhva Hastasana. We're gonna keep going. Exhale, sit low. Utkatasana, stay here. Inhale, heart up, chest up. Exhale and fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and fold, bend the knees. Plant the hands, step back, right leg, left leg, plank, and inhale, plank pose. Exhale, safe transition to the belly. Arms down by the sides, press the feet. And inhale, modified Shalabhasana. Lift the head, the arms, the chest. Keep your feet down. Exhale, release. Press back, downward facing dog. Inhale to look forward. Exhale to step your right foot up. So we're going to continue to add to this low lunging. Scoot your left toes back. Drop your left knee low. And untuck your left toes. Inhale, reach up. Take an exhale here. And then right hand to the hip. Inhale, reach long. And exhale, side bend to the right. Now we'll start to add. So twist. Rotate your left ribs toward your right thigh. Reach to the top right corner of your yoga mat. And then per your capacity, elbow, maybe top of that right thigh, palms together, prayer twist. Push palms together. If you're in, you could stay a little more upright if the lean is too much. And turn your belly from the left to the right. Another big breath here. Gotta really squeeze your legs together because it gets a little wobbly. Good, undo that, hands find the floor. Left toes tuck, left knee lift. It's an inhale to do that. Quietly exhale as you step back, plank pose, inhale there. Exhale to the belly. Arms down by the sides, press the feet. Inhale, lift up, head, arms, chest, Shalabhasana variation. And exhale, release. Press back, downward facing dog. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, step your left foot up. Drop your right knee. Untuck right toes. And inhale, sweep up. Exhale, a little sink here. Draw the low belly back. And then left hand to the hip. Take an inhale, get longer. And exhale, side bend left. From here, use your belly to start to twist. Right ribs towards left thigh. Reach to the top left corner of your yoga mat. And then per your capacity, right elbow outside the knee or top of the knee. Palms together. Inhale, lengthen the front of the spine. And exhale to turn. Spread your collarbones nice and broad here. Another breath. Squeeze those legs together. And change. De-rotate, hands down. Inhale, tuck those back toes. Squeeze the right glutes on the elevation. And then exhale, plank pose. Inhale, plank. Exhale, shift forward to the belly. Arms down by the sides. Press the feet to start and inhale, Shalabhasana. Head up, chest up. If you want, maybe feet up too. A little bigger lift if you can. Locust pose. Exhale, release. Press back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Couple of breaths. Soften the eyes, the jaw. Check in with your deep sense of knowing here. We've got one more. A little additional heat building, and then we'll take a little pause. From your dog, walk your feet to your hands. Find Uttanasana, the top of your mat. Inhale, breath, lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Utkatasana, sit low, sweep the arms up, little pause. And then inhale, straight legs, Urdhva-hastasana. One more time, exhale, sit low. Utkatasana, heart up, chest up. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, lift halfway, Ardha Utthana. Exhale and fold, bend your knees, lead with your left leg, then your right for plank. Inhale here, plank pose. And exhale, safe transition to your belly. All right, so repeating Shalabhasana. Arms down by the sides. You lift up, upper body, lower body, or one at a time, or one rather by itself. If you want, a little added challenge, heels to bun. The first two will be strength, a little Dhanurasana. Woo, okay, straighten the legs, lower down, and press back, downward dog. Inhale to look forward, last little bit with this lunging work. Step your right foot up, scoot your left toes back, untuck your left toes, and inhale, arms up. Exhale, right hand to the hip, inhale, lift up more, exhale, side bend to the right. Good, from here, wrap left ribs towards right thigh, cross the midline, and then left elbow, top of the right thigh, Avrita Anjaneyasana. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, turn to the right. If you're feeling pretty steady and sturdy here, you could tuck your left toes and lift your back knee. I would only do that if you feel steady. You do it, squeeze your left glutes and take another full breath. Nice, de-rotate. Gather the belly, inhale, prepare. Back knee lifts, exhale, plank. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale to the belly. Arms down by the sides. Inhale, Shalabhasana of your choice. Added challenge, curl those heels towards your bum. Dhanurasana prep. Woo, exhale, release. Press back, downward facing dog. Final side. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to step up, left foot between hands. Scoot right toes back, drop right knee low, and untuck right toes. Inhale, high arms, low lunge. Exhale here. Left hand to the hip, right arm up, inhale. Exhale, side bend to the left. From here, wrap right ribs, left thigh, reach to the top left corner, and then get your prayer twist on, palms together, right elbow outside left thigh. Inhale to lengthen the front of the spine. And exhale to turn. If you feel steady, sturdy, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and squeeze those right glutes. Big breath. Good, change, de-rotate, hands down. Inhale's your prep. Exhale to your plank, stay there. Inhale, strong plank pose. Exhale to the belly. All right, so we're pretty juiced, pretty warm. Potential options, arms down by the sides. Lift up, Shalabhasana of your choice. You can Dhanurasana with actual grab of the ankle. Go for it. Squeeze, bends, lift, chest, breathe. Lower down and press back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog. We'll take a couple breaths there. Complete our flow and take a little break. From your down dog, take a peek forward and walk feet to hands. Uttanasana, top of the mat. Inhale, breath lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, breath and fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Utkatasana, sit low, sweep your arms up, take a little beat here and pause. And then the next time you inhale, straighten those legs, Urdhva Hastasana. Palms together, enjoy a few breaths here. So wild hair, probably, perhaps some wild clothes, you might feel a little hot. Check in with the heartbeat. You marinate a little bit here in the effects of your warm-up. Enjoy the body's response to that movement. All right, and then release when you're ready. And this is always a good place for a drink of water, so if you would like to hydrate, it's a good place for that. And you'll just need possibly a strap. We'll take just a little brief pause from the flow for a little more chest opening, and then we'll get back into a little more flow that's different than our warm-up. So if you have a yoga strap, you might need it. If you don't have one, it's not a big deal. You can still get the benefit of the stretch. And if you want to further your Vajrasana work, or you're starting to feel maybe more like you're able to sit Virasana, then you could do this seated. If you would rather stay standing, that's fine. I'm gonna sit Virasana, which is between the heels. So also a good place for a block. If you can't quite get there, which is fine, you can elevate your seat, but furthering the front of the ankle opening, knee flexion if you can. So either Vajrasana or Virasana. Virasana, your booty is right inside your heels and it's on the floor, ideally. Otherwise you're on a prop, and that's great. Okay, and then you'll sit tall on the spine. Take a moment just to pause there. And then take your right arm straight up by your ear. Bend your right elbow, so the right palm kind of dangles nape of neck area. And then left hand's gonna do a little assist with some tricep space. So left hand's gonna help to work this right arm a little bit behind your head per your body's capacity. And then you just pause there. So little pressure, head into hand, or arm rather. And a pretty neutral spine. So keep your low belly knit back a little. The rest of you is pretty neutral. This right arm's just getting a little extra something. You can use that left hand to kind of encourage that right arm further behind your head. And I usually get a little more out of it if I squeeze my arm against my head, just gently, and then push my head a little bit into my arm. Last breath on this side. And then release your left hand, slowly stretch your right arm up, release the right side, and we'll switch. So stay in your seat if you can, take your left arm up, and bend your left elbow. Work the left arm gently behind the head, the palm will kind of dangle around the nape of the neck there, and then right hand and left elbow are friends. They can work together to kind of nudge very gently this left arm more behind your head. So we're looking for left tricep space, left armpit chest space. Draw your belly back, do a little push of head into hands, or arm rather, and a little bit of arm into head just to tone. Doesn't have to be much. Nice soft jaw. And you can encourage that left arm a little more if there's space. Just take another breath here. All right, carefully release your right hand and stretch your left arm out of there. Take a moment just to land both hands on the legs. And then from your funky seat here, it'll probably feel nice to get up, so come forward and we'll make our way to downward facing dog. So just make sure you've got blocks at the top, and we're gonna start with some knee down and then work our way to some standing. So if you need padding, you could probably keep your blanket. Really all the dog cycles leading up to this are optional, right? So you can take good care of yourself. In this part of the sequence, I deliberately don't cue them, so they're your call. And sometimes I do them and sometimes I don't. So do what's the best for you. Downward facing dog. So use your glutes, not your flinging or momentum. 2, carefully lift your right leg back and up, but with a pointed set of right toes. So ballet style. Once you're up there, squeeze your right glutes and bend your right knee, like you could tap the back of your head with your right toes. Keep that. Lift your thigh a little higher. Look forward. You could also do this on the knee, by the way. If up on the hands is too much. And then use your belly and swoop this right leg through and step the right foot between your hands. All right, drop your left knee and untuck your left toes. Take your right hand to your thigh. You can use a block for your left hand if you want. And inhale, lengthen the front of the spine. Exhale, twist to the right. So we're going to change a little bit of our twisting in this round. Wrap your left ribs under and your right ribs up. And then start to slice this right arm back like Shalabhasana. So open the right chest and turn a little more from the left to the right. Squeeze your left calf muscles and your left buns. Awesome. De-rotate, come back. Grab both of your blocks if you have some. Maybe flip them tall. And walk your right foot a little bit closer to the left so it kind of lines up or starts to line up with your left knee. It's going to feel a little tough, but see what you can do, because then we're going to swing this left shin behind and walk the blocks to the top left corner of the yoga mat. So it's kind of like a gait variation with down dog arms, working to drop the torso inside the right leg. We'll just take a beat here. We'll go slow on this first time through. It's kind of a funky flow. Then keep your gait shape in your legs. Walk your blocks back. Lift your spine. Put a block inside your right foot. And then take your left hand to your hip and spin open to the left. Actual gait or closer. Push into your right foot. Send your hips to the left. And squeeze your left elbow towards your spine behind you. Tuck your right bun under so it's a part of your pose and draw your pubic bone towards your chin. Another inhale breath here. Exhale, rotate back, swing your left shin back in line. You can widen your right foot back to the right. And inhale, tuck your left toes, lift your left knee. That's your prep. Exhale, you step to plank pose. Inhale, plank. It's a good place to decide if you're gonna dog cycle. Or maybe hold your plank if you want to practice a little more strength work. You could also go right back to the down dog. That is where we will meet. Mindful of what's behind you and use your strength. As you inhale, point your left toes on the way up, three-legged dog on the left. Elevate that left leg to the degree that you can. Less about hamstring opening, more about strength to get that leg up there. And then bend your left knee. Curl your left heel towards your glutes. Keep that, lift your thigh and look forward like you could tap the back of your skull with your left toes. Inhale. Exhale, use your belly. Go slow as you swoop your left leg through and up. Lunge. Drop your right knee low. Untuck right toes and then right hand to block if you want, left hand to thigh. Take an inhale. Exhale, twist. Right ribs under, left ribs up. Squeeze those legs towards one another. And then you've got left arm Shalabhasana to further open the chest. Wrap the right ribs under, left ribs up. And squeeze your right lower leg and your right buns. Let's take another inhale here. Exhale to de-rotate. Grab both of your blocks. Maybe flip them tall. And then walk your left foot to the right. So you start to kind of line up your left heel with your right knee. And then you swing your right shin behind you. And then walk on the diagonal to the top right corner of your mat. All right, stretch long. So we're after a little more of the inner thigh, inner groin. Maybe up into the hip there. Breathe. Stretch long in your arms like a down dog. And then walk your blocks back. You can snuggle one up against your left inner leg. Take your right hand to your hip and spin open from the left to the right. Right hand to hip and then send your hips to the right. Tuck that left bun in and under and squeeze that right shoulder blade towards your spine. Another big inhale breath here, Paryankasana variation. Good, exhale, turn back to the floor, swing your right shin back in line. You can move your left foot to the left. And inhale, tuck those left toes, lift the left knee. Exhale, step to plank. You can inhale in your plank pose. Dog cycle if you choose. I'll meet you in the downward facing dog. We've got one more round where we'll keep the knees down. So you can keep your blanket. And we'll go a little faster because now we know what's gonna happen. From your down dog, inhale, point your right toes, lift your right leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, curl, right heel, right glutes, flex the knee. Inhale, extend the right hip, so lift your thigh, look forward. Exhale, use your belly to scoop slow, right foot up between the hands. Drop the left knee low, untuck the left toes, and take the left hand to the block and the right hand to the thigh. Inhale. Exhale, twist from the left to the right. Reach back, right arm to Shalabhasana. Option on this round, if it's available, curl the left heel towards the left glutes. And if it happens to be handy, because you've been at this for a long time, and you've got the range, left foot, right hand. If not, you pick up the left foot and engage. Like you want to grab your foot someday. It's okay if you can't reach. Yeah, undo, let go there, de-rotate, and set up for that funky gait. So walk your right foot in a bit, grab both blocks, and then swing that left shin to the right behind you, and then walk to the left. It's a nice big breath to stretch like a down dog inside this right foot here. Draw the low belly up. Good, and then walk back. Right block inside, left hand to hip for starters, turn up into the left. Send your hips to the left, and then option on this round, you keep your left hand here or scoop behind the head, and then lean back into that left palm and open up more through the left armpit chest. Big breath. Yum, undo, rotate back. Swing your left shin back in line, move your right foot to the right, and inhale. Tuck left toes, lift left knee. Exhale to your plank pose, optional dog cycle. If you would like it, need it. Downward facing dog is our home base. We'll do one more side with the knee down. Inhale, lift your left leg with pointed toes, three-legged dog. Exhale, curl, left heel, left glutes. Inhale, look forward, extend through the left hip. And exhale, scoop. Nice and slow, left foot up between the hands. Right knee low, right toes untuck. Left hand to the thigh, right hand to a block. Inhale here. Exhale, twist from the right to the left. Left arm Shalabhasana, open up the left chest. And if it's handy, right heel, curl in, grab the outer foot with the left hand. If you can't quite reach, hold the strength to the best of your ability. And then turn your belly from the right to the left. Yeah, undo. Grab both blocks. Walk your left foot to the right a bit so you can line up. And then right shin swings behind you. Walk your blocks to the top right corner. Nice down dog gait. Breath here. Drop as best you can inside that left upper thigh and draw your low belly back. Good. Keep your legs, but walk your blocks back. Nudge one inside your left foot. And take your right hand to your hips. Spin open. Left ribs under, right ribs up. Tuck that left bun under. You can keep your right hand on your hip or go behind the head. Loosen light. Lean back into that right palm. Reach up through the armpit chest and take another full breath. Good. Undo. Turn back to your mat. Swing your right shin back. Walk your left foot left. And inhale. Tuck right toes. Lift right knee. Exhale to your plank and stay there for the inhale breath. Dog cycle if you would like. So our last flow is off the knees. So you can repeat what we've done, actually. Those are all just the knee down versions of what we're gonna do standing. So if what we did was preferred or you don't feel very stable, you could certainly repeat. Otherwise, ditch your blanket. And we'll give all that a final go, knees up. All right, from downward facing dog, point your right toes. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, curl, right heel, right glutes. Inhale, extend your thigh, look forward, arch your spine. And exhale, use your belly and step your right foot up, lunge. All right, left knee stays lifted. I like a block under my left hand. And then the right hand comes to the thigh. Inhale, exhale, twist from the left to the right. So a little higher from the floor. It's probably gonna be a little more on the outer hip here. Just can't do the thigh stretch, so that's the bummer. But right arm, Shalabhasana, slice back and turn from the left to the right. Good, de-rotate, grab your blocks. This time spin your left heel down, so about 45 degrees. And then keep your right leg nice and deep bent and walk your blocks to the top left corner of your mat. So it's like a warrior two, down dog, hybrid. Draw your low belly up and scoop your right bum a little bit in, left leg strong. Good, walk your blocks back, put one inside this right foot and the other to the left hip. Utthita Ardha Konasana. Spin your chest from the right to the left. All right, option to stay with the left hand on the hip or you do the left palm behind the head and then you lean back. Tuck that right bun under. Open up through the left chest. Could even like crawl that left hand more down your neck and reach through the left elbow. Oh yeah. When you're over it, exit with care. Turn back. Left heel high lunge. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to your plank. And inhale, plank pose. Dog cycle here. This is probably your like second to last chance to flow, so keep that in mind. And we'll meet in the downward facing for our last flow. Slow and controlled. Point your left toes. Inhale, left leg back and up. Exhale, curl, left heel, left glutes. Inhale, left thigh extends, look forward, arch your spine. And exhale, scoop left foot between hands. Keep the back knee nice and buoyant if you can. Right hand to a block if you want, left hand to the thigh. Inhale. Exhale, twist, belly from the right to the left. Squeeze that back leg, and then add your left arm, Shalabhasana. When you're ready, turn to the left. Take a nice full breath there. Right ribs under, left ribs up. Good, de-rotate, grab your blocks, and spin your right heel down about 45 degrees. Walk your blocks to the top right corner of your yoga mat. So you're doing like a down dog, warrior two hybrid. And after that left inner thigh, groin, big breath here from your back leg. Yep. And then walk your blocks back. Left block inside left foot. And right hand to hip. Start to spin open. Use your power of the core to rotate from the left to the right. Side angle. Squeeze that right leg. Right hand to hip or option. Right hand behind head. You can lean back into that. If you want a little more challenge, you can curl the right hand down the nape of the neck like Gomukhasana and then reach through the elbow. Big breaths, belly to spine. All right, guys, nice job. Undo. Spin your back heel high, come through your lunge. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to your plank. Stay there. Inhale, breath. Final dog cycle should you choose. And then a mindful transition to a seat or a child's pose. In other words, resist the urge to kerplop. So nice closing of your flow. And then a nice mindful, intentional seat, or if you need a moment in the child's pose, you could land there for a few breaths. So check in here with breath, heart, deep sense of knowing how you feel. A hard one, I will admit. So our final work is Paryankasana. So the couch pose, which is a really big back bend. And I'll give you some options. There's lots of ways to do it that aren't maybe traditional, but I think they feel really good, especially if you can't sit in Virasana. So I'll give you some other options. If you know Paryankasana, you can just go there. If you're not sure, the main option or the actual pose is with the Virasana legs. So if you know what that is, you can start to set that up and recline. Those of you that can't sit in the Virasana, so you're not able to like get your bum between your heels, this whole thing, that's okay. You can do a seated version of this shape. So you can sit on a block, do the lacing of the hands, and get a back bend kind of going up and back like so. It's essentially the same shape, you're just seated. You could also do the big back bend with a block with Baddha Konasana legs, butterfly legs, knees bent, or legs straight. So there's lots of options. So I'm going to show with legs straight. If you're not opting for Virasana, that way you can kind of see some variation, and then I'll get into actual Paryankasana. So I'm using a tall block. That's going to be a very big back bend. You might opt for second side block. So you can choose, but the head then gets the scoop from the hands. I'm going to shear my elbows up towards the ceiling, and then I'm going to drop back. And if it feels okay, the block's in the right spot, right up in the upper back between your shoulder blades, then it's probably going to feel okay to maybe stay, and you could hang the head. I'm going to keep my hands for a little support, but you could let go, stretch your arms to the top of your mat. There's lots of options. So Paryankasana of some kind does not have to be on a tall block. It does not have to be in the Virasana legs. If you are using a tall block, I would turn it vertically so that it's right, kind of rubs in your spine. It's not the most forgiving, but that is a little bit better than the other direction, I think. And you could do a second block if the tall block is too high. And then, oh yeah. Okay, so you guys, this feels good. You can stay as long as you'd like in the final shape. We worked really hard to get here, and that's really all that matters. Less of if you can actually do this pose or not. And lots of breaths if you're hanging. A little scoop maybe of the navel down. Keep your lumbar spine happy. And I don't want to rush you, so if you've been in there for a while and you're ready to come out, just lead gently with a chin tuck. So bring your head maybe back through neutral. Try to go slow as you lift up carefully. Don't rush out of there. And then your final move maybe is just to sit, or if you had Virasana legs, you might want a final down dog, or just stretch one leg back at a time. Nice work. Okay, let's lower to the floor. So we have yet to be on our backs. Let's make our way there. On your way to your back, let's go for knees bent. So neutral spine. especially after all that back bending. And make sure you've got maybe a strap and a block close by. You might need those two things. Let's take a moment just to rest the hands to the belly. And feel deep inside as you start to slow breath down, heart rate comes down. Start to demuscularize. And this is a good place to practice that deep sense of knowing. So counter shapes a little bit here before we rest. So if you know what you need, do that. If you're not sure, right ankle will cross over the left thigh. So we'll take the figure 4 shape and you can gather up with a strap or hands around left shin or back of left thigh. Might feel quite nice to flex your right foot. Maybe a little more strongly than normal. You could even flex your left foot too, actually. Get a lot of plantar flexion. And then you can do some gentle movement, be like a little side to side in your figure 4 here. And if this is really therapeutic, you can stay with this. If you want to add on, kind of been playing with this in my own practice a lot lately. You can release from the shin, but keep the legs. Take your right hand to the back of your left thigh. That's going to continue to be the squeezing in piece. And then you can bend your left knee. This is going to depend on like hamstring length and arm length. My left knee is quite bent, but I've got my left hand reaching for my left outer foot. If that's too much, you could ditch one or both of those stretches. You could also use a strap to reach your left foot. I like the double figure 4 supta P1 at the same time. If you don't like both, it's a-okay. Or if your body doesn't like both, right? Sometimes you just, body says no. All right, release. And we'll switch. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh, figure 4 on the other side when you're ready. Gather up the right shin or the back of the maybe right thigh, figure 4 for a couple breaths. Flex your left heel, maybe flex your right heel. Wobble side to side if you want a little movement. And then if you want to add the hamstring stretch, you can keep your left hand behind your right thigh, send your right foot to the ceiling, and if it happens to work, right hand, right foot. Otherwise, use a strap, or just stretch one piece of this at a time, releasing left hip, glutes, and right hamstrings. And when you feel like you're even with the final stretch there, you can let go. And maybe just resume feet to floor, neutral pelvis, knees maybe can knock together. And that could be like your final shape before you rest. If you need like little knees to chest, maybe be pretty gentle about that. Paryankasana, you could go there. I'm gonna do just a super loose one. Final moves before we rest, and then we'll set up for Shavasana. So after back bending, it can be nice to rest with support behind the knees. So if you'd like to build yourself a little platform, you could slide just your blocks underneath your knees. I'm gonna take my 2 blocks on their flattest sides and then put the short sides together and then put my blanket on top. And then I can catch behind my thighs, knees for support. You don't have to copy that, but you can. And then rest the upper limbs in a position that's comfortable. you're not comfortable on your back, you could rest on your side, on your belly. But rest well. So close your eyes, enjoy a couple minutes of quiet here. And I'll let you know when it's time to come out. So if you are resting well and your deep sense of knowing tells you that you need more rest, then you stay here. It's the beauty of home practice. There's a little more freedom with what we can do and how we can best support ourselves. So continue resting or start some small movements and some fuller, deeper breaths when you're ready. We'll start to transition out of your Shavasana, but take your time. So maybe slide props out, roll through a side. Give yourself maybe a good breath or two on the side before you come up to sit. And if you've got a platform, you could sit right on that. And we'll close our practice there. And taking a moment to take a good seat and check in with how you feel. So how's the body, breath, and mind after a strong flow practice? What did you learn about yourself in this deep investigation of that triad? And further, better understanding that deep sense of who you are. It's a beautiful place to practice on the yoga mat to do so. And as always, I hope we take this with us. You can meet hands at heart if you want to, and we'll close with the bow. If you would like, head to heart in gratitude to this practice, to be able to do this work, and to each other. Thank you for being here. Thanks for joining, guys. I appreciate it so very much, and hope you all have a safe and happy 4th if you're celebrating. Take good care. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.